guys feeling tonight? I hope everybody's excited. Come on, can I get an applause for the crowd? I'm glad you guys could all make it. I really appreciate the attendance, especially given the weather. So I'd just like to make 2 points. The first of which is that this event will be filmed, and if anybody has a question to ask to Ms. McKinney and feels uncomfortable with being on camera, I'd like that you just raise your hand, and we'll make sure that you're not filmed. Secondly, I'd like to also talk about the reason why we're here in the Rotunda. So we weren't actually given space by the administration. In fact, we were almost pushed to, they wanted this event in a small closet, a little room on the second floor of the UCU, because they didn't think that we should have this space. So I'd just like to, I'd like you guys to know about that the administration is not supporting this event, but myself and other members of the Black History Month Committee felt that this event was important, and we really want to go forward with or without the consent of the university.
In the fight against bigotry, we stand together, and we must. And in the fight against injustice, we stand together, and we must. In the fight against intimidation, we stand together, and we must. After all, a government that launches war to steal another person's birthright will do anything to all of us. Cynthia McKinney. Cynthia McKinney has made a career of speaking her mind and challenging authority. She began day one of her political life and hasn't looked back. With her opinions, actions, and even her sense of style, McKinney has inspired both admiration and controversy. In 1992, McKinney won a Democratic seat in the U.S. House of Representatives in the newly created 11th District, drawn from Atlanta to Savannah. She was the first African-American woman to represent Georgia in the U.S. Congress. In addition, African-American woman to represent Georgia in the U.S. Congress. In addition, she was elected in 2004. Since 2005, Cynthia became a supporter and follower of Dr. Mahathir Mohamad efforts to criminalize war. She has appeared in the Kuala Lumpur several times, declaring that the city, the peace capital of the world. She recently reported on her experiences in Libya in the Arab uprising, conference organized by the Paradena Global Peace Conference, and served as an official observer at the historic Kuala Lumpur War Crimes Tribunal that on the 22nd of November 2011 found former President George W. Bush and former Prime Minister Tony Blair guilty of crimes of aggression and other crimes against the state and people of Iraq. Cynthia now travels the world speaking on human rights, nature's right, and peace while she contemplates a return to politics. We're very privileged to have her here. En français.
Bonsoir et bienvenue. Je vais juste vous faire une petite traduction en français. Pour ceux qui ne comprennent pas complètement l'anglais, je peux toujours traduire vos questions et vos réponses pour vous par après. Donc, la carrière de Cynthia McKinney est marquée par l'expression de sa pensée politique et son questionnement de l'autorité. Elle poursuit ses luttes politiques dès le début ou dès le premier jour de sa carrière, et grâce à ses opinions, actions et sa personnalité, McKinney inspire admiration et controverse. En 1990, McKinney est élue parmi les démocrates dans la Chambre des représentants aux États-Unis du 11e district nouvellement créé dans l'État de la Géorgie. Elle est la première femme afro-américaine à représenter l'État de la Géorgie auprès du Congrès américain. Elle est ensuite réélue en 2004. Cynthia soutient les luttes pour la criminalisation des actes de guerre présidée par Dr. Mahathir bin Mohamad. Elle s'est rendue à Kuala Lumpur en Malaisie plusieurs fois et la considère et l'a déclarée la capitale mondiale de la paix. Elle a récemment fait part de ses pensées sur les insurrections en Libye, durant une conférence organisée par la fondation de Perdana Global Peace. Elle a aussi officiellement observé le tribunal historique des crimes de guerre au Kuala Lumpur en novembre 2011, durant lequel le président Bush et le premier ministre Blair ont été trouvés coupables de crimes contre l'État d'Irak. Présentement, elle voyage à travers le monde pour dénoncer les violations des droits de la personne et adresser les questions sur les droits de la nature et la paix en attendant un retour en politique. So now welcome. I'm sorry.
Okay, I come here with all of my books and my notes, but because mes yeux sont vieux, j'ai besoin de les lunettes. Yeah, okay. The idea behind having this event originally was that we would have an opportunity, we would give the students of the University of Ottawa an opportunity to express themselves. And so we wanted to create an atmosphere of sanctuary so that people could come into this place and express themselves without judgment, that they could speak from their head, their heart, their gut about what their experiences are like at the University of Ottawa, in the community at large, and how this university can become a place of healing. This university can become a place where people of diverse backgrounds can come together and say, not only I am, but that I am empowered. I am empowered to be who I am and what it is that I want to be. We don't get those kinds of messages every day of empowerment and freedom to think and live and be. But certainly at a university, we have the opportunity to explore ourselves. So this is Black History Month, and the students wanted to have the opportunity to express themselves. I see as many people from the community here as I do from the student body. And so I think that is an excellent thing. But this is not about me doing the talking. This is about you doing the sharing. In order to set the stage, I probably need to share something with you about who I am. You know what I've done. And I'm not going to say very much, except that currently I am in a PhD program, and I want to tell you what the theme of my academic institution is. The founder of the school said, "Be ashamed to die until you have won some victory for humanity." And so tonight, everyone who is here, we start with the presumption that you're here because you want to make a contribution to that which is good and that can be better. So we start with everyone here. If I were your professor, I'd give you an A just for being here. So now we got to make sure that as we engage in our exchange, that when we leave here, we all still have that A. So tonight is about you. And I have some literature, since we're in school and I'm in a PhD program and everything is about literature. There's at least one professor here, Denis Rancourt, and so he can sort of undergird the idea that, you know, everything that you say. Now, in politics, I know politics. And you say, you know, things that they have no foundation. But you assert that it's true, and people believe it's true because it's you who's saying it. But now you have to say, okay, somebody else said it, and because somebody else said it, then it's true. Okay. I've got some books. Are a little loud, so maybe we'll allow them the opportunity to come back. That I want to show you is called The Practice of Adaptive Leadership. And there's one section here that talks about, the title of the section is The Illusion of the Broken System. And basically what the author, Ron Heifetz, says is that the idea of a system being broken is an illusion, because the system is the way it is because it serves certain interests. So the system is the way it is because there's certain people who want the system to be that way. And we have to understand that and make our analysis based on that. My professor in my institution, Philomena Essay, has written a book called Understanding Everyday Racism. And basically, what she's saying is that when you live in a Eurocentric environment, if you don't happen to be kind of Euro or centric, then things happen. And when those things happen, it's not necessarily with malice, but they happen because people are not thinking, and because that has become the norm. So Eurocentrism is the norm, and if you're not that, then you're kind of the And so this book is a helpful kind of guide to what those everyday kinds of things are that can happen that become toxic to some people. She then did another book, Diversity, Gender, Color, and Culture. And in this book, she basically talks about a university setting and things that universities can do to actually eliminate the environment that allows the proliferation of everyday racism. So here's the prescription for everyday racism in this book, particularly on the university setting. So it's not that universities are condemned to repeat the mistakes of the larger culture. They are not. And there are prescriptions, there's prescriptive behavior that can be employed by enlightened leadership. And the last book, you can see I just got it out of the library, is called Two-Faced Racism. And this book basically describes how people in a Eurocentric environment Basically, it's about how white people engage with other whites and don't have experience engaging with non-whites, and so that allows that everyday racism to take place. So what whites then have to do is engage with people who are not white, and then feel free enough to have an honest discussion of head, heart, and gut, and then engage with other aspects of the community. When we have that kind of back and forth, or conversation, or dialogue, that's when we have the opportunity to grow from our experience and to come together as communities. So basically, that's what tonight is supposed to be about. Coming together as a community of learners, because every engagement is an opportunity for us to learn about the person we're engaging with. With that, I would say to the organizers, Hazel, to please come back and then maybe bring us on to the next part of the program. So thank you.